Welcome, citizen, to another StarCraft Nation broadcast. I am your host, Vinarati, and today's cast, we're going to see the second matchup between Xiaoyan and Cal's Rule for the North American Weekly number 5 Diamond Champion title. Yeah, there we go. We'll use that one. So, we are on Metalopolis. We do have quite a lot of room to play with on this map, and the spawning points, though, really aren't the most epic, and I say epic spawning points. I like it whenever they're really wide spawning points like that. It just really sets up for a heavy macro game. Not to say that, you know, this kind of positioning won't do it either, but you see games kind of settle themselves quicker in this. But inversely, you could also see the expand. We can take the natural, and then they start to expand out this way and start to occupy these and kind of hook around. It's generally the kind of expansions we see with a heavy macro game on this map and this kind of positioning as far as spawning points go. But what we've got going on now is this early in the game, our players are really trying to locate each other, and this is the important part. Now, Cal's Rule, of course, sent his Overlord across the gap and sees Xiaoyan here, and inversely, Xiaoyan will know that Cal's Rule is over here. So this point of the game, you're going to see probe harassment and drone harassment, trying to block your player from doing what they want to do. Now, this is very important because for Cal's Rule, they generally want to go and throw down a hatchery right here. See, boom, right there. A lot of times you'll see Xiaoyan or any sort of Protoss player will throw down a pylon or just sit here and duel with the drone and cause Cal's Rule to have to get off of his style, and because he's just being molested constantly, and that's not where you want to be as Cal's Rule, and that's something you want to do as Xiaoyan. Inversely, though, Cal's Rule can come over here and try to sit a drone right here and keep a Cybernetics Core or a second gateway from coming down right there, as this is very key placement for Xiaoyan because you are going up against a Zerg player. You are going to expect Zerglings to come, and you're going to want to put a Zealot right in here to stop that. And any sort of harassment like that, not allowing your enemy to really get away with doing something that they generally is what you want to do at all times. Now, of course, this is one really pissed off probe because it has been DPSing the crap out of this hatchery. It's sitting there tasing it there the entire time I was giving that speech. So we do have a spawning pool coming up. We will see Zerglings probably come up and a Queen Q. Waiting for that Queen. There we go. And, of course, they will be more than happy to dispatch this probe because this probe is an absolute jerk. He's coming in there and tasing these innocent drones. Once again, this one drone just being attacked. We do actually see a three-way going down on that one probe. And, of course, it does fall to that massive DPS all of a sudden. Of course, Xiaoyan right now is going to be chrono boosting out the Warp Gate technology. And this Warp Gate technology is going to play a pivotal role for Xiaoyan. Not only... I mean, I can't name the last time I saw a Protoss player go without getting gateway technology unless he did like a Void Ray or something like that. But this is going to be very crucial because not only is it going to allow him to produce more units per gateway, but it's going to allow him to reinforce on the fly because this pylon right there, actually, we're going to actually see these Zerglings coming around trying to surround these Zealots. They will be surrounded. We do see the Zealots doing a good job slicing and dicing, but it's not going to be enough. We are going to see one Zealot fall. Are we going to see both Zealots fall? Yes, we do see one Zealot fall. And this one Zergling up with 5 HP. It is the king. And then, oh no, a Stalker comes out there and puts it down. And Cal's Rule is, yeah, Billy the Zergling just got put down after he was the last one in the entire battle. But going back to the the pylon right here, and the Warp Gate technology, the placement is going to allow Xiaoyan to reinforce down here. So... and of course, Brennan and Garrett apparently very fitting Zealot names as both of them. I guess Xiaoyan names all of his units, and inversely, Cal's Rule names all of his. God, you gotta have a lot of names for those Zerglings. So Billy, of course, unfortunately was put down by that Stalker. So men are up, please. So either way, Cal's Rule is going to be. Filling up his mineral lines here, and actually we're seeing a Phoenix come online right here for Xiaoyan. So Xiaoyan is going to be using Phoenix now to be a pain in the side, and that's basically what Phoenixes are. They're a pain in the ass for any player that goes up against them if they're used appropriately. Now, it's very easy to adapt your playstyle to counter the harassment of them. But that initial shock when you get the 3 and the 4 Phoenixes rolling up into your main, rolling up into your natural, just constantly pulling up units, pulling up the queens, and just sniping, it's very frustrating. But as the game goes on, within the next minute or two, most players will go ahead and put spore crawlers, will be building more queens, will have Hydralisks or something like that up there, and that of course, pretty much ends the effectiveness of base harassments for those Phoenixes, as they will totally get owned by those spore crawlers. But they can also be effective for picking off reinforcements if you use them, but they're very macro or micro intensive, so you have to really be able to maintain the micro level. And if you do that, though, you have to make sure that you don't let your macro fall either, because if you let your micro fall, you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot, because these Phoenixes can really only do so much. But they can come over here and pick off these outlying overlords and stuff like that, because both of these overlords will be in grave danger from these Phoenixes if these Phoenixes catch sight of them, because, of course, the Phoenixes will be like, we'll do tap dances around the overlord and be able to shoot the entire time, so it'll be very offensive. And we do actually see these Phoenixes taking a few pot shots on those overlords. The queens, of course, pissed off about that situation. We do see Spore Crawler coming in here and will be going ahead, almost killing that Phoenix right there. But, of course, as we did see the Phoenixes just kind of rolling around there, will be taking pot shots on these overlords. The queen's coming here, trying to save this overlord. And Swan King getting pretty ballsy, getting off of the creep like that. So this one Phoenix really not liking his life right now, as it is not where he wants to be. And, of course, this one, that one Zergling will be going down. It is the second kill from these from Xiaoyan Sphinxes. So really not paying for themselves so far, but nonetheless they are there and they are annoying, forcing Cows, either way, where they've been super effective or not, forcing Kalsrul to snap off another queen to get these spore crawlers. So we do see, those drones will not be on the lines, and unfortunate, but this spore crawler is actually bending this mineral. And we actually have an extractor completely unoccupied, where we have super high saturation up here. So we are going to see Kalsrul coming up here once again, expanding. And just now, Xiaoyan actually just bringing up his natural, not really making anything decisive happen yet, as we haven't seen anything. Oh, we will actually see this Overlord going down to this gang of Phoenixes. Of course, the Phoenixes more than will be gleefully cheering the death of that Overlord. They actually found something to attack. Otherwise, they've pretty much been glorified scouts. And right now, thinking about tech-wise, we do see Kalsrul bringing up the Carapace level 1. And we don't see, we actually, just as I'm talking about that, we do see a Hydralisk and we do see a Spire coming down simultaneously. So we are going to see Kalsrul rolling into some higher tier tech. We do see the Phoenixes, of course, patrolling once again, and that Zergling will be taken down. And as for Xiaoyan, of course, the Stargate is silent right now, as the Phoenixes have really lost their usefulness overall in the game. And we do see a Pylon will be coming down here, so maybe we might see Xiaoyan looking for an expansion right here. But tech-wise for him, things are kind of silent on the home front for Xiaoyan. I don't know if he's saving up for a Nexus right here, as he does have 500 men in the bank right now. Not really sure, but we do see the Phoenixes coming over here, being a pain in the rear right there, shooting a couple of drones as they are starting to rack up the kills. 4 kills, 3 kills, 2 kills, 5 kills. So actually, I believe we saw. Hold on. I know we don't like this. I actually will be. I do remember this because we did live cast this. We saw an entire transfer of basically those drones going down there. So, my bad not catching that one once again. So, slap me on the wrist for that one, or worse. So, thinking about what we have here, though, we're really seeing Kalsrul. We saw him dig in with these static defenses, and he's just now really starting to pump out any sort of real military force. So we see once again those Phoenixes coming in there, trying to poke around, trying to see what's going on, but really not being effective because of the spore crawlers. But we're just now seeing Zerglings coming out, and we have Corruptors as well. So Kalsrul really digging the heavy macro, and actually got a speed upgrade for his Overlords to counteract the effectiveness of these Phoenixes. Of course, the Phoenixes will be able to chase down these Overlords either way. So it does look actually this one Overlord is going to be in danger. We do have one Corruptor entering the field. 2 Corruptors actually getting really close. That Overlord is counting its blessings with only 3 HP left. We do have a Queen coming up here, of course, not digging what's going on. She will be pissed off, will be coming in there. And the Phoenix is just bouncing back and forth. Of course, these 2 Corruptors would be outgunned by those Phoenixes, so Kalsrul needs to be careful, needs to keep those guys in check, in range. And we do have a Nexus just finished out for Jia Young. Let's go take a look at the income tab right now. We do have Cal's Rule with 61 harvesters. Now, that's a lot of harvesters. And he does have a slight lead against Jia Young. And Jia Young doing a transfer right there. I don't know. That's a pretty big transfer. So, not sure if he needed to pull that many off of there. But either way, that's what he did. We do have Void Rays entering the battlefield for Jia Young, so they will be coming online here relatively shortly. We do have Thermal Lance, so we are going to see Colossus. Do we already actually have a Colossus on the field? Yes, we have one Colossus on the field, so not quite yet getting that critical mass of Colossus that really needed to be super, super effective. But we do actually see the creep tumors really starting to spread out here. We do have Corruptors kind of patrolling the area, trying to scout out, see what's going on. Do we have a Greater Spire? No, we don't actually have a Greater Spire yet. We do have a Hide, though, on his natural. And meanwhile, these Corruptors getting kind of dangerous. I don't know why he's going up this far, as we do see one Corruptor going down. We could see another Corruptor going down, but we don't actually have Stalkers with Blink, so they're not going to really be in that much danger. And we see a few more pot shots going up on this Corruptor, but I do believe, yeah, it will be able to get away. And we have full 3 Evo chambers on the floor for Cal's Rule. All of them, of course, cranking out some sort of tech. So Cal's Rule really digging the macro, really will be upgrading his units, making them super, super effective. And it's going to make a huge difference in the long run. Meanwhile, though, not to be outdone, we are going to have chrono boosting of ground weapons level 2. We already have armor level 1 up, and we don't even have any sort of shields upgrade. But we do have Jia Young supply locked himself right there. So, throwing down a few more pylons, actually putting down a Templar Archive, so we are going to see either something coming out of that. So, right now we do have Cal's Rule kind of engaging, kind of poking around this expansion. We do actually, the Corruptors coming there, really dangerous. We see 2 of them fall down there needlessly, as you have to make sure your Corruptors don't get caught out in the open like that. It's not where you want to be. So, right now, Jia Young successfully defending his expansion right there. But what I was going to say is we're seeing pretty heavy macro. But look at this. We have 1, 2, 3,